Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to week 4 of virtual dance class. It's hard to believe that this much time has passed already, but obviously still very grateful to be dancing with you all. I hope that you are enjoying these classes and continuing to stay in shape and stay healthy and continuing to grow as tap dancers. So what we're going to do today is we're going to quickly run through our warm-up, and then I have a fun little shuffle combination that I've made up that I want to teach you guys to help with your leaps and your hops, and it has a shuffle ball change, shuffle hop step in there, so we'll get some of that in, and then we'll review the riffs that we did last week, and then we'll add on 2 more new ones. So very excited, and it's going to be a good class. So let's start with, as we always do, with our toe drops and our heel drops. 16, 16, 8, 8, 4, 4, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. Not going to be as fast as I just said it, but here we go. Start with the toes. 5, 6, 7, and 8, 4. As always, nice and loose. Now, heels. Four toes, 4 heels, twosies. Now front, back. One more time from the top. 8, 4. Now heels. Make sure you're getting a nice clear sound each time. Toes. Now heels. 4, 4. Now 2. Now ones. Now to the right. Just toes, then heels. Really isolate. To the left. Keep the rhythm. Really bend the knees, that'll help you do this. Back to the right. Toes, then heels. Toes, then heels. You kind of can get your hips into it if you want. Might make it a little easier. Last time. Good, shake it out. Now onto our toe taps. So we'll take 8, 8, 8, step heel, step heel, step heel, and then clap, and then meow, and then scream, and then yell, and then whatever you want to do, as long as it doesn't aggravate your parents. Just keep it probably inside voices. But here we go, let's take our toe taps. Remember, isolating the ankle, getting a really beautiful sound each and every time. Here we go, 5, 6, starting to the front. To the side. To the back. Left side. To the side. To the back. Really bending this leg up. Once more. And. To the side. To the back. Last time. And. To the side. To the back. Good. Now, I know it can be kind of like, oh man, I know this, especially for you guys who take my class on Thursday, because we've done it week after week after week, and you can be like, I'm so bored, I need more. Well, there's always more to work within it. So yes, we're only doing toe taps, but remember, this is the warm-up, so we're getting ourselves prepped and ready to go for more advanced stuff. But also, you can really focus on not being so loud with each one. It doesn't have to be each time, it can be more subtle. And you can really think about, instead of just placing the flat of the foot down, you can think about it almost echoing. So almost like how the shuffle goes da-da, da-da. It's the same thing with the toe tap. You want to really flex the foot as soon as you hit the floor to give it that kind of a rebound sound. Because there's a difference between and. It's very subtle, but it is there. And that'll also help you with your quicker footwork, because that quick rebound preps you to do more. So if you were going to do something like nerve taps, where you're just kind of almost spazzing your leg out, having that action and that articulation in the ankle, which is what we're really working towards, will really help you get to the quickness that'll come later on in tap. Good. So now we've done our toe taps, let's do our shuffles. Same sequence, 8-8-8. And again, picking up from the knee like a puppeteer to really help facilitate that action. And let's do our shuffles. Here we go. 5, 6, 7 to the 5. Little quicker this week. To the diagonal. In. Left side. Side. Make sure you're getting 2 clear sounds in. One spin, and. So this is the easiest one to really feel. This one's a little tougher. Your legs turned out. This one's the hardest one. You really have to activate just under the butt to really activate those muscles and get the sound in nice and clear. Last time. And again, be loose on this leg. Very nice. Hopefully those shuffles are getting easier for you week to week. Let's finish it out with our heel drops and our toe drops, then we'll move on to the little shuffle combination that I have for you guys. So 8 to the right, 8 to the left of the heels, and 8 of the right, and 8 on the left with the toes. And we'll take it twice. Here we go. 5, 6, have some fun. Last time with the toes. And make sure it's the tip of the toe. Good. That'll conclude our warm-up. Stay tuned. We'll do our combination right now. Okay, so we've been working on a lot of time steps, and especially with the standard rhythm, the military time step, you get a lot of like sequences such as 3, 3, 1, 1, 3, or like with the heel grind time step, we have 1, 1, 3. So tap is almost mathematical in that sense that we have to think ahead and really kind of get the sequence up here before it really translates down here. So this next thing that I'm going to give you is, it's not exactly a time step, it's not an official time step, but it's a combination that kind of functions like a time step to help get that in your body and really help you to understand the concept of just sequencing, and I think it'll help us moving forward not only with our shuffles and our leaps, but with any time step that we encounter to already start thinking ahead. Okay, there's a pattern in here, now what do I do? So it's going to start with 3 shuffle leaps. So we'll start with the right leg. In a shuffle leap, this doesn't have to be like a jeté leap, like in maybe your ballet or your jazz class. It's really just kind of a step underneath you, but you're changing legs. So this is a shuffle leap. So see, it's not super big. So we're going to take 3 of those, right, left, right. So shuffle leap, then shuffle leap, then shuffle leap. And then we'll take a shuffle hop. Now remember, leap, you change legs. Hop, you go straight up and straight down, and you do not change legs. So you take 3 shuffle leaps, 1 shuffle hop. Shuffle leap, shuffle leap, shuffle leap, shuffle hop. Now we have the left leg ready to do the same thing on the other side. So we just did 3 and 1. Now again, we're going to do 3 and 1. So 3 shuffle leaps, 1 shuffle hop. Shuffle leap, shuffle leap, shuffle leap, shuffle hop. Good. Now it's going to change. 1 and then 1. So 1 shuffle leap, 1 shuffle hop. So we have the right leg available. It's almost like we reset back to the beginning. 1 shuffle leap, and then 1 shuffle hop. I missed the spank there. That's better. And then shuffle leap, shuffle hop on the left side. Same thing. Shuffle leap, shuffle hop. And then we don't repeat with a shuffle leap, shuffle leap, shuffle leap, shuffle hop like most time steps. We're going to finish it out with, yes, a shuffle, but then we're going to take a ball change. So we're going to step back and then front. So a ball change is just a transfer of the weight. So I'm transferring back and then front. So it's shuffle, ball change, and then shuffle, hop, step. So we've done plenty of shuffle hops. So shuffle, hop on the left, and then step on the right. And now we have the left leg available to reverse the whole thing. So it looks like this all together. Onesies. That's it. So, to review, we have 3 shuffle leaps and then 1 shuffle hop. And we do that 2 times. We do that on the right side, and then we do that on the left side. 3 shuffle leaps and 1 shuffle hop. Then we take 1 shuffle leap, 1 shuffle hop, 1 shuffle leap, 1 shuffle hop, and then we finish it out with a shuffle, ball change, shuffle, hop, step. Good. So that's the whole sequence. A couple things to think about within it. When you take your leaps, like I said in the beginning, make sure you're not, it's going to be way too much. It's going to make it really difficult, especially when we start to pick up speed, because the goal is to really flow through it eventually. On the shuffle hop, make sure straight up and straight down. Be hopping to the side. I know we all probably know flea hops in jazz class, and we could do them in tap class too, if we were doing something really Broadway theatrical. But no flea hops in this, it's just a hop straight up and straight down. And then for the shuffle ball change, make sure that you really back and then front. So there's a very clear distinction between back and front. And if that means that you really have to pick up the front knee to do it, then that's what you got to do. Last but not least, your shuffles, they're all to the side. So I know some of you may want to do them to the front because the front ones are the easiest ones for you. But it's not this. We're not doing Irish step dancing. We're just doing regular old tap dancing. So it's just to the side. So make sure it's very clear to the wall, not to the back. So it's not to the back diagonal, but it's to the side. Let's take it at a slower tempo. Let's go right side, straight into the left side. I'm going to say it as I do it. Hopefully not get myself too much out of breath. And then we'll go directly into the left side. Then we'll try it one more time, a little bit faster. Here we go. Starting with the right, 3 shuffle leaps. 5, 6, 7, and shuffle leap, shuffle leap, shuffle leap, shuffle hop, shuffle leap, shuffle leap, shuffle leap, shuffle hop. Onesie, shuffle leap, shuffle hop, finish it out. Shuffle, ball, change, shuffle, hop, step, left side, and shuffle, beat, 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 hop, beat, 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 hop. Now one, and hop, beat, hop, finish it out. Shuffle, ball, change, shuffle, hop, step. Good. So counting it, it goes like this rhythmically. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 5, and a 6, and a 7, and a 8, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4. Hold 5, and a 5, and a 6, and 7, and 8. So I think you hold the and before 5, but there is the point is that there's a small delay before you do that shuffle, ball change, shuffle, hop, step. Okay? Let's try the whole thing a little bit faster with a little bit more flow to it. Don't freak out, don't panic. It just means that you have to keep it a little bit more underneath yourself, really stay loose in the legs, don't tense up because that's going to make it really difficult. And again, if you need to slow it down, that's the beautiful function of YouTube, is that you don't have to go to this speed. You can also go back, rewatch my explanation of it over and over and over again so you really get it up here, so that way you don't have to think so much down here. And hopefully you're at the point now where you have it up here so you can kind of turn off the brain a little bit. Not that the brain isn't working, but you don't have to be so like, okay, it's a shuffle and a shuffle and a shuffle and a shuffle, but you can really just kind of let go and really just focus on dancing and having fun. Here we go, a little bit quicker. 5, 6, starting with the right. Shuffle, beat, 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 hop, beat, 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 hop. One lead, one hop, one lead, one hop. Left side. One hop. 3, one hop. One hop. One hop. Good. I hope that wasn't too difficult for you. Really, again, if you need to go back and just practice it over and over again, that's kind of the name of the game with tap, is practice doesn't make perfect, but it makes progress. And we get to that place where we can really just continue to advance through it. So I hope that helps you. And though it's not an official time step, that's kind of similar to the time steps we've been working on. Continue to practice your military, your heel grind, your standard rhythm, and your buck, because you'll need to know all 4 of them. And I'll definitely keep teaching you more as the weeks progress. But very good work. Hopefully that wasn't too bad for you. And let's move on to our riffs. All right, so last thing for today is we're going to review our riffs. So last week we went over 3 count, 4 count, and 5 count riffs. We're going to quickly go through those. Hopefully you've been practicing. They're very easy to practice, even if you're just going for a walk in your sneakers. Just be like 3 count riff, and then step. 3 count riff, and then step. Whatever you got to do to help continue to instill those into your mind and into your memory, go for it. But we're just going to review them really quickly, and then we're going to add on 2 more. So I have the 6 count and the 7 count, which some of you have learned with me in the past, but you probably don't remember because it's been a couple weeks. So we'll go through it slowly, and they're really fun. So starting with the 3, remember the 3 is starts with the right, it starts with a dig and then a scuff, and then a heel on the opposite leg. So this is my left leg that's going to do the heel drop. So just take 4 3 count riffs. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. If you need to go back to last week's video to really go over the really in-depth explanation, because I think I did a really nice job of being able to articulate which leg it is, what count it is, and you can go back and review that as many times as you need. That's a resource for you to use as much as you need. But for today, I want to speed through it so I can get to the new stuff. So let's just take 4 on the left side, and remember the heel scuff, make sure it's really a scuff out. You don't want to scuff it down because then you're kind of stuck. You can't do too much. You never want to be stuck in tap. We always want to make it where we have open access to our legs to help us get to the next place. So when you scuff, make sure that you scuff out so that if we were doing a 5 or a 4 count riff, we're ready to go. Because if you keep it here, you can't go anywhere with that. Let's take 4 on the left side. Here we go. Just 3, 5, 6, 7, and big scuff. Heel, left, left, right, big scuff, heel, big scuff, heel. Good. Now remember the 4 count riff is kind of like we're lazily walking, which I'm sure many of us are doing right now. I know I've been guilty of it myself, but it's just a dig and then a scuff, and then as I just said, the scuff goes out so that we can place our weight forward onto this heel, almost like the heel dig that we did in the warm-up, but a little bit more weight on it, and then we transfer from the back to the front. So if you want to be cool and be like, yeah, I'm rocking it back and forth, I'm a cool tap dancer, you can, just to help get that last 4th count of the 4 count riff, but it's just pushing off of the back to drop the toe in the front. And then same thing on the left side, dig with the left, scuff with the left, heel with the left, toe with the left. So different than the 3 and the 5 in that it's all the same leg. So let's take 4 4-count riffs. It's going to alternate, right, left, right, left. Here we go. You might have to scoot back a little bit. Be careful in your space. 5, 6, 7, and big scuff, heel, transfer forward. Big scuff, heel, drop the toe. Big scuff, heel, toe. Big scuff, heel, toe. Good. Last one that we learned from last week is the 5-count riff. Remember, it's kind of like the 3 and the 4 put together, and that it's a 4-count riff, but you just drop the heel in the middle. Or you can think of it as starting with the 3-count riff, and then finishing with the last 2 counts of the 4. So it's a dig, a scuff, then you drop this heel on the 3rd count, and then you finish it out with a 4, boom. So you have the heel and the toe. Let's take it right, left, and then we'll move on. So 5-count riff is very important as well because it's used often in tap dance in many different combinations. A lot of choreographers really like the odd numbers because they make for more interesting choreography, I guess, because you're working within not so even rhythm. There's even rhythm and then there's syncopated rhythm. Even is like 1, 2, 3, 4. And a syncopated rhythm is like a 1, a 2, It's a different type of rhythm. So these are going to be very even, but choreographers typically like the 5-count riff because it's very versatile. So it's good to have in the memory banks. So here we go, right, left, 5-count riff. 5, 6, 7, and big scuff, heel, heel, toe. Big scuff, heel, heel, toe. Right, right, drop the left, right, left, left, drop the right, left. Good. And again, if you need to do more than that, you can do more than 4. Just kind of trying to speed through it so we can get to the new stuff. Take as much time as you need to practice those and really get them in your body. So now we're going to move on to the 6. Beautiful thing about both 6 and 7 is you already know pretty much everything. We just did the 5. A 6 is just one more heel tacked on at the very end. So it starts with a 5. So we just did the 5 4 times, so hopefully we know it very well. So we do dig, scuff, heel, heel, toe, and now our weight is still forward. We just drop this toe. We just do another heel drop on the right leg, the one that's forward in the front. That's 6. So it's 6 counts. This is 1 is the dig, 2 is the scuff, 3 is the heel drop, 4 is the heel dig forward, 5 is dropping the toe front, and 6 is dropping that front heel. So if you need to look at it from the side so you can really see it, dig, scuff, drop the left heel, right, right, right. So you see how I'm really bending this knee to really help get that heel drop in? Just take a couple of those because normally when we do them, we're in a 2nd position, but here I'm in a kind of a 4th position. My legs are spread apart, so really bend forward like you're in a lunge to help drop that heel. Let's take 4 6-count riffs. starting with the right leg, nice and slow. 5, 6, 7, and big scuff, heel, heel, toe, drop the heel. Good. Left, left, right, left, left, right. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. Good. We learned one more, and we have one more to go. The 7 is very similar to both the 5 and the 6. Similarly, it starts with the 5, and we just add one more heel on top of it. So start with the 5, big scuff, heel, heel, toe. Now, instead of dropping the front heel like we just did in the 6, we're going to drop the back heel first. So it's going to go left, that's 6, and now like we did in the 6, we drop the front 7. So it looks like this. A 5 count riff and 2 heels. Big scuff, heel, heel, toe, back, front. Or you can think of it as left, right, and then if you're doing on the left side, right, left. Let me show it to you once again from the side so you can really see it. Big scuff, drop the left heel, this is the 5, it's a 5 count riff, then you drop the back heel, boom, then you drop the front heel, boom. So see, I'm bending both knees so I can easily drop both heels. Let's take 4 7 count riffs starting with the right, and then that'll conclude today's class. Here we go, nice and easy. 5, 6, 7, 10. Start with the 5, so this is 2, 3, 4, 5, back heel, front heel. Good. Big scuff, heel, heel, toe, back heel, front heel. Right, right, left, right, right, left, right. Last one, left, left, right, left, left, right, left. Good. Now it can get kind of confusing with the different heels. Just remember with the 6 count riff, you drop just the front heel, and with the 7 count riff, you add a heel right before it, and so it's back, front. So the first one is back in the 7, and then it goes to the front. So now we know 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we're on our way to getting to the 13 count riff, and we'll get there slowly but surely. And I hope that you're really starting to understand the riffs and, again, the patterning. And like I said earlier, tap, a lot of it is just sequencing. So once you understand the sequence of the steps, you're able to get to quicker speeds, and then that's how we really start to get really advanced in tap. So great class today. I hope that this is helping and that it's keeping your minds and your feet sharp and engaged. And great work, and we'll see you soon.